Hello, it's me, the Fresh Potato, back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about CVs, aka aircraft carriers, for new players and ways you can better your gameplay playing aircraft carriers, and ways you know where you don't want to make people upset or make your teammates upset. And if you ever play aircraft carrier and you find yourself getting hate mail at the end, this video will help you, okay, in some way, hopefully. Okay, if you listen, your gameplay in aircraft carriers will improve. Now, first thing in an aircraft carrier, when the match starts, like you can see what I'm doing here, I'm trying to spot. This is the initial spotting.
There he is.
I'm trying to look and find the enemy. Try to make sure my team knows what positioning they're doing. When you spot initially, it helps your team understand the enemy's positioning. Okay, number two, also what you see here, I'm going after the DD, aka the destroyer. How did I find a destroyer? Well, destroyers, a lot of unaware destroyer players will give themselves away with their AA. They don't understand. You should always turn off your AA. That way it doesn't it's harder for aircraft carriers to find you. But the unaware player doesn't understand. So AA gives the destroyers away. It makes it easier for them to be found by CVs. And that's exactly how I found this guy, and this is why this guy is heading back to port. Turn off, if you're in a destroyer, new players, turn off your AA. And there are videos on how to turn those off. You can look online, because I can't explain that right now. But yes, you can turn off. It's easy button. You can turn off your AA. Same button where you use where you want to communicate with other ships. Just look on the side. There's a side panel, and I believe it's triangle if you're on PlayStation. I'm not sure about Xbox, where you can turn off your AA. You can turn it off and on. So if you're a newer player and you never used that feature, try it out. And every time you're in a game with an aircraft carrier in a destroyer, turn that thing off. It makes it harder for the aircraft carrier to find you. Okay, so when I'm in my aircraft carrier, I like to, first, of course, do the initial spotting, and second, you need to search and find and kill the destroyer. By you looking for the destroyer, flying over the destroyer, you are what they call spotting it. Spotting is when you see something, the rest of your team can see it, okay? So if you're flying over a destroyer, just know your whole team can see that. They can see the position of the destroyer. And if they're good players, they will shoot the destroyer and try to help you kill it, okay? So always look for the destroyers when you're in a CV, okay? CV, aka aircraft carrier. It helps your team greatly. It is your job, okay? It is your job as an aircraft carrier to kill destroyers first, okay? Before you're going after any battleships like I'm doing here, but there's a reason why I'm doing this. I'll get to that later, but you shouldn't be going after battleships right off the bat. And the reason I'm going after these battleships, if you saw there, the shells, they're shooting at me, okay? And I can be wiped off. You're wiped off the map easily. So I have no choice but to stop my search of destroyers and go after these guys here because, well, they pushed in a little bit too aggressively and got a little bit too close to my aircraft carrier. And see, look there. Look at my health. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, wow. So I had to cancel my destroyer search. Okay, I had to cancel the hunt for destroyer, and go after these guys. My teammates, well, they're doing a good job. They're trying their best here, but these guys were very aggressive and they came up real strong. So I had to turn my attention to them. But if they weren't doing this, I would still be doing my job and searching for the destroyers. Okay, searching for the destroyers, because all you have as a new player, as a new aircraft carrier player, you have to understand this. Understand this. When you're not spotting or going after the destroyer, just know that they are torping all of your friendly battleships. All of your teammates are being torped. Think like that, okay? You need to think like that. Just know that one of your teammates is dying and being torped because of you. You are not doing your job looking for these things, okay? And just know after they're done with your battleship teammates, you're next, okay? They're coming for you, all right? So you have to look for the destroyers. And looking for the destroyers, it's like a game within the game, okay? To me, it's like a game. It's like cat and mouse, okay? It's Tom and Jerry. It's what it is. It's the game within the game. Find and kill the destroyer. And sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's frustrating, because you're going up against destroyers that can change direction, and stop on a dime. Seems like sometimes. So it's a challenge, and when you practice and get better at it, you will see that the faster you can knock out destroyers, the faster you can start targeting battleships. The faster you can move your carrier, okay? And the faster you knock out the destroyer, the higher damage you can get, because now you can go after battleships and torp cruisers, okay? Now you can start to farm your damage because you've done your job already. You've knocked out the enemy destroyers, okay? You've done your job. You did a good job. Now go get some reward out of it, all right? Because at the end of the day, we all want to have fun playing the game, okay? It's not just for destroyers and cruisers to have fun at it. You have to have fun too, and you gotta you want to get some good damage out of it. But do your job first, okay? Do your job first. And what I said earlier about moving your CV. Don't be afraid to move your CV. And I'm moving mines here because I want to get a little closer to this Iowa. And look at this. This Iowa was full health before I spotted it. Okay, and now after I spotted it, I'm going to basically kill and destroy this Iowa all by myself, which is not something that I'm proud of, okay? But hey, I'm just playing the game, okay? Don't hate the player. You hate the game. And look at this guy. Poor guy. It was nothing he can do. You know why? Because I wanted him dead. And in a CV, if I want you dead, you are going to die, all right? And poor guy. It's nothing he could have done, that could have stopped me from doing this, because I'm in an aircraft carrier, okay? I can be all the way on the other side of the map and affect the game, okay? And affect the middle of the map. And it's is it fair? Well, that's another debate, okay? That's another discussion. Is it fair? Well, you make your own decision. But moving your aircraft carrier, don't be afraid to move your aircraft carrier. Don't be afraid to move it into a cap, okay? If you're afraid to move your aircraft carrier, well, take your plane, fly over a place you think may be safe, and of course forward, okay, closer to the enemy. Oh, look at this drop. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Look at this. And poor guy, he got stuck, crashed into an island. He's in a giant Iowa. It's nothing he can do, and I'm pretty sure at this point he probably quit, went back to port and said, well, that's that. It's nothing he can do here. Nothing he can do. You know why? And his AA is not as good. You know why? Because my HE bombers knocked most of them out. Okay, most likely knocked a lot of his AA out, and now he's just defenseless. Okay, poor guy. And back to port he goes. Boom. But you wanna move your battleships into caps. Don't be afraid to move them into the cap. If you're afraid, take some of your planes, fly around the area, and if it's safe, move your aircraft carrier there. Just as long as it's forward. Or you can go ahead and find a nice island and park your aircraft carrier near the island. All right? You can use your autopilot. And how do you use your autopilot? You go to your primary map, okay? You go to your big map, big map, and you know where you can ping a location. Go to that location, and on PlayStation, it's holding square. You hold square to whatever location you want, and your aircraft carrier will automatically move there. That way, you don't have to manually drive it because you need to be flying your planes. All right. So that's how you use your autopilot. Okay. Don't use your autopilot and just to go straight into the enemy. Be smart. Remember, your aircraft carrier those are really easy to kill. Okay, a strong battleship can dev strike you. Okay, devastating strike. Done. You're back to port. You failed your team. Okay, you don't want to do that. So be careful when you move your aircraft carrier, but at the same time, don't be scared to move your aircraft carrier. Okay. Look at this guy. He's going after me now, and which brings another tip on playing aircraft carrier. Another tip: if you're playing aircraft carrier, do not focus the whole battle trying to kill the other aircraft carrier. That's not how you play the game in aircraft carrier. The enemy aircraft carrier usually is the last person to die. Okay, let him be the last person you go after. Because it's the last ship on the board. Do not focus trying to kill an aircraft carrier if you are in an aircraft carrier. Your job again is to search and find destroyers. After you knock out all the destroyers, you go after the preferably the cruisers, especially radar cruisers. And if you don't know what are radar cruisers and which ships are radar cruisers, that will have to be another video. And there's a content creator that has made a video list of all radar cruisers. If you want to go watch those, go and watch those now. But your job is to kill the destroyers. After destroyers, you go after the cruisers and go after the battleships. You shouldn't be flying halfway across the map the whole time trying to kill the enemy aircraft carrier if you're in an aircraft carrier. Okay? You save that for last. Okay? By you doing that, the reason why you don't want to do that is because it's taking you away from the battle. It's taking your spotting away. Okay? It's taking you away from shooting, from using your torpedoes on a battleship, causing the battleship to turn. Okay? Because that's another thing you're used for. You can cause battleships and cruisers to turn in a direction where now they're broadside to your friendly battleships and cruisers. Okay? You're making them easier to citadel for your teammates, okay? Because remember, this is a team game. And you can see here, I'm just flying in circles. I didn't care about going after that other aircraft carrier. I was hoping one of my teammates could knock it out because I was just flying around to spot him. But anyway, that's it for this video. I will come out with more video and more content explaining aircraft carrier gameplay because I didn't get through all of it. If you have any questions, let me know. But thanks for watching.